Greetings. I have returned, and my priority for this, at least the first part of this episode, is to fix what I can of the desert village. Whoops. So I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to take a look at what I can do to kind of fix that up a bit. And then I will decide how I'm going to get the NPCs. Actually, I may need glass paintings as well. Oh, this sword is almost dead. Oh, I totally forgot I blocked that exit off. I've got to go the long way. So it is Tuesday night, the 10th of June, and this is, again, airing several days after it is filmed, but that's alright. Let's make sure I have the leash in hand. Oh, I've entered my horse from underneath. That was an awkward thing. Was that always like that? Or did I dig that out? Interesting. Alright, we arrive at Testour. And I want to have my NPCs arranged around this village such that they're interacting. Oh, that didn't quite work the way I was hoping it would. Whoa! Okay, this horse is not the jumper. So I can't get him up to the fence posts. I can put him here, though. This ought to work, as long as he doesn't go in the well. That's one thing I'm slightly worried about. But let's rebuild this village first. So let's see, I'm going to need some of that cobble. I'm going to actually need some fence posts. And ideally some gravel to put around the outside of this well. How well lit up is this village? Doesn't seem very well lit up at the moment. So we'll add some torches. Make sure that there's places the players can go, that they're not going to get throttled by zombies right off the bat. I can take this sign down because obviously there's no no villagers in this house any longer. We do have some torches in here. This is now useless. Actually, that would be useless because the zombies can just come right over. So let's stop that from happening. Actually, dig this out a bit here, make them have a little bit nicer yard. Is that all I have for torches? You know what? I'm going to run up and grab some wood. Oh, here's some glass that needs replacing. Oh, look at how nice I am repairing this village. That's a good... Oh, you know what? Let's, in fact, we'll make it a really nice village so that people can get around. Okay, we'll hold off. No. Let's do this. Better than nothing. Okay. Let's run up here and get some wood. So while I'm doing this, I want to tell you about a dream that I had last night. It was a weird dream, but not really that uncommon for the types of dreams that I have. And the dream involved a person named Carter Kalchik, who I'll say I'm internet friends with. I like to think I'm real life friends with, but we've only spoken once in real life. But we've corresponded via different podcasts and YouTube videos and comments and things like that. So it's one of those things that I feel like I know him a lot more than I could say I truly do in real life. Anyway, that's not the point. So Carter, he's a friend of a friend, if you will, or started off as a friend of a friend to Sean V. Martin. And I say all of this to set up the dream, and the dream, it was part of a longer sequence of dreams, and I really don't remember what happened up until this point that I'm gonna speak about here. And so in this dream, Carter is riding a bicycle, and I'm with Carter. We're in an area that I think is familiar to him, but was definitely not familiar to me. And so he's riding the bicycle, and I'm sort of sitting on the seat behind him somehow, and like holding on to the back of the bike with my hands like under the seat. Maybe he's standing up and pedaling. I think that must be what it was, because I don't know. I don't think it was a 2-seat bike. Maybe it was a bike with a banana seat. It was, I don't know. It was like a 10-speed sort of bike, but it wasn't, it didn't have gears that you switch. So anyway, we're riding this bike near to this building where I think he used to work, is what it seemed like in the dream to me. And he used to work in this building, and it's like a park district. So when I say park district, what I mean is where I live, we have, well, basically every city or area has a park district that governs like the wide open spaces and the spaces where parks, they govern the parks, basically the park system, and so they are in charge of, like, you know, putting in the playgrounds and tending to the grasses and stuff like that. I guess is the best way I can describe what a park district does. And so this was sort of like in a area that has a bunch of trees, and the building itself is orange. It was like orangish highlights to it, I guess you could say. And it was set up on a hill such that there was these like probably 5 or 6 flights of stairs leading, stairs with like even I think some escalators, or where you might expect there to be escalators, sort of leading up to the top. And we were approaching from down below, and so Carter had to ride his bike up several flights of stairs to get to the point where we could get up to the top. And I was sitting there on the back of his bike, and we're like kind of talking as we're riding, I guess. Again, this is like some area that he was familiar with, but I was not. And so the first thing that was interesting to me was that he was able to really pedal and get and pull 2 people's weight up these stairs to the top of where we were going to. So that was kind of impressive. So then we get up to the top, and we go inside this building, and it's sort of it's well lit, but it's sort of dimly lit. Like, not all the overhead fluorescent bulbs maybe are turned on. And we're going through the hallways, and like we split up for some reason. I actually don't really know why we split up, even, to be honest with you. But he went off sort of in one direction, I went off in another. And we get to, or I haven't seen anyone else yet in this, I almost said in this map, in this stream. I haven't seen anyone else. And then I come around this one corner, and there's a a Spanish guy there, like a Hispanic guy, um, a guy of Hispanic background, and he looks like he's lost, I guess I could say, and he's looking for some directions, and he's like trying to find some certain room, like for some park district program. So my park district, in addition to maintaining all the parks and things like that, they also do classes. So like when I was little, I used to take breakdancing class, and then I've taken taekwondo at the park district. It's like kind of like a YMCA, but not really. And he was looking for a class, he was actually looking for an anger management class, but I think the way he said it was that he was like a wife abuser, and that he was there for therapy or something like that. And I was like, so like as I'm starting to talk to this guy, I'm getting a little bit weirded out. And Carter comes around the corner, and Carter's completely soaking wet from head to toe. And I have no idea why Carter's soaking wet, but I'm also trying to figure out how I'm going to react to this guy who basically just admitted to being a wife abuser and is looking for where to go to his anger management class. So it's a really strange dream. So then Carter comes around the corner, and he's soaking wet from head to toe. He's dripping wet, and I'm nervous about how to speak to this guy, this Spanish guy. And I'm like, oh, and there's Carter. He's got a problem too. He's afraid of water. And like in my mind, it was both a joke because he was soaking wet and he's afraid of water. Get it? And it was also my explanation to this guy that basically not an explanation, but saying like, yeah, Carter's also in a therapy class. He's trying to overcome his fear of water. It was just such a strange dream. And then we basically kind of moved on. There really wasn't any other conversation with this guy. We basically moved on, and then we were up. Remember, I had said he had rode his bike up like 5 flights of stairs with me attached to the back in order to get us to this point. Does this house not have a door? I don't think this house has a door. This just has 4 windows. That's really strange. We're going to make a door right here. And so yeah, so this guy, we leave him, and then we're going through the rest of this place, and we're inside the building now though, and we're going downstairs, and so we're basically, let's just make this easily accessible. Oop. We're going downstairs, and instead of walking down the stairs, we're like putting our arms on the railings on either side of the stairwell. And these are pretty wide stairwells, by the way, so I'm not exactly sure how we pulled this off. But we would like put our arms on either side of the stairway, and then we would jump down, avoiding all the stairs, like basically jump over the stairs. Wait, why am I making so many doors? I think I only needed 1 extra door. And we're like jumping down whole flights of stairs to get to the bottom. Like, I don't know, it was weird. And then I think we left the building, and we continued on our way for whatever weird reason. But it was like this sort of, we were completely casual together. Like, you know, we've been friends forever, and we're just hanging out, and this is what we do. Oh, I did need an extra door. And yet, it was sort of like a weird circumstance. So, I don't know, weird dream. I just thought I would share that because I was like thinking about it all day long. Like, what do the individual parts of this dream mean? Like, what is this dream trying to tell me? It's reminding me of like my youthful adventures, but I don't really know why we were there to begin with. And at the same time, it was like, I don't know, it was just a really strange dream, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So anyway, if you have any, I'd be curious, if people in the comments have strange dreams. I very often do have strange dreams. This is just one in a long line of many. I also do sleepwalking, which is to say, like, I will look like I'm awake, but I'm actually completely asleep. I will look like I'm awake, but I'm completely asleep, but my eyes will be open, and I'll be interacting with whoever it is I'm talking to. So I'll give you a good example of this. When I was a kid, or the first really memorable example, and I think I may have told this story before, so if you've heard this story before, I apologize. This is sort of like the dream episode, I guess. I was laying in my bed, and when I say I was a kid, I would actually say I was probably somewhere around high school age, or going into high school or something like that, because I actually wasn't that young. In fact, the house that we were in, I had to have been in high school because of the house that we were living in at the time. And so I'm laying in bed and I'm kind of looking around my room, and I had this brown dresser, or you might call it a bureau, I think. It's basically like a set of 3 or 4 drawers, that it's like a set of 3 or 4 drawers. Sorry, I'm just doing this at the same time. That you put clothes in, obviously. And so I have this set of drawers, and like, they were all closed. I'm sitting in my bed, I'm looking at the drawers. They're all closed except the bottom drawer is open a smidgen, just enough. And the bottom drawer is where I kept my blue jeans, because I think keeping blue jeans in the bottom drawer makes the most sense because they're the heaviest of all the clothing. So my blue jeans are in there, and like, I think they were sticking out a little bit, like they were, and there might have even been a pair of clothes on the floor too, but I'm not sure about that now. That part's a little bit hazy in my memory. And so I'm laying in bed and I'm looking at my drawer, and all of a sudden I see the pair of blue jeans start to move, and it's like pulling itself. I'm doing this sort of jerking motion with my body that you can't see, but the pants are like pulling themselves, trying to pull free of the drawer, and obviously they can't get out of the drawer because they're stuck in the drawer. They're sort of pinned in the drawer because it's only partially open, and so these pants are basically trying to escape. And I'm sitting there watching them for a few seconds or a few minutes, and I hear my dad downstairs. I think he's watching TV or whatever dads do when they're not upstairs doing whatever they do up there. And so I'm like, Dad, Dad, Dad. And I'm just like calling him, and he's like, Ronnie, what's wrong? What's wrong? And then I'm like, come up here, come up here. And I obviously interrupted whatever he was doing, and he comes upstairs and he's like, what is it? And I'm like, Dad, look at my pants. I'm like, put my pants back in the drawer. Put my pants in the drawer. He's like, what? He's like, what do you mean? Put your own clothes away. And I'm sitting there. He's in my room, and he's standing there looking at me, and he's looking around the room, and obviously he doesn't see the pants moving, right? because he's not insane. And but I'm sitting there saying like, Dad, you gotta put the pants away. Okay, wool for emeralds. Can you open the door? Thank you. I want to check your friend. Does he actually have wheat for emeralds? He does. I'm going to go ahead and get some. And I'm yelling at my dad, Dad, put my pants back in the drawer. And he's looking at me, and he's looking at the pants, and he's like, you clean up your own room. I'm not going to clean up your room for you. And he's thinking that I'm telling him to clean up the pants that are laying on the floor and put them away, or put clean clothes away, or dirty clothes, or and so he's like, whatever. And then he just leaves my room. And I'm sitting there looking at these pants as they are trying to pull themselves free of the drawer behind him, and then as he leaves the room. And so basically my dream was overlaid on top of reality. And so then I finally give up. I go to sleep, whatever. So then the next morning we're at breakfast, and he's like, "Hey Ronnie, do you remember when you were calling me up to your room last night and you were telling me to put your clothes away for you?" And I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, no, that's not what happened. My pants were trying to escape my drawer, and I was telling you, I was kind of startled, and I was telling you to put them back in the drawer because they were trying to escape." And he starts laughing, and he's like, and I totally remembered it happening clear as day, and I remember it to this day, that my dream world, it was like a waking dream, they call it sometimes, was superimposed over the real world, and he didn't see it, so he just thought I was telling him to do chores for me or something like that. It's really strange. There's been plenty of other times, a lot of times, even now as an adult, where I will wake up and I will think that there's like, let's say, spiders or skeletons or mice or something in the room, and I will like leap out of bed into like a fighting crouch to attack, and I'll clearly see them, and then like my wife will wake up and she'll be like, "What are you doing?" And I'll be like, "Zombies or spiders or whatever." She'll be like, "You're dreaming, you can go back to sleep." And I guess I've even been known, this I don't really remember, but I guess I've even been known to go so far as to open up the door and try to leave the room. So really kind of dangerous from that perspective. Can I talk to your buddy, please? Yeah, that guy back there. Can I talk to him for a minute? I don't really want to let you guys out, but I may have to. You guys have been trapped in there. You've been good. You've been really good about it, though. You've been in there for quite a while. So let's... Oh, I can't. You're in the way. Can you either step back or let me talk to your buddy? Please? Yeah. Well, you mean he says he doesn't want to talk to me? He wants to trade, right? I've got wheat. Look. Look. I've got the wheat that he wants. That he's buying. You guys have been trapped in that house all alone. You need some food, right? It's to your benefit to let me in. Or else step out. Okay, that's fine too. We'll step up to your shop this way. Okay, wheat. And let's see if I can't... Let's see if I can't get all the wheats. Oh, I don't have enough. Now that trade is probably going to be gone, right? Oh, it's still there. Emeralds for melons. Okay, nope. Melons are not what we want to trade, or what we want the player to trade for. You know what I can do? I can actually now put this door sideways so now the player can get in here and the zombies can't. But I can also trick the zombies this way. And now the player can interact with these guys. Okay, good. Okay, so what was this? This was cooked fish for emeralds and emeralds for arrows, was it? Emeralds for arrows. Cooked fish for emeralds. Nah. Can you guys step back away from the door, please? Can you guys step back a bit? I'm not going to actually trade with you. I just want you to step back so I can build your shop. Like I made them a nice shop. You're not happy, are you? You really want out, don't you? Well, is my horse in the freaking well? Oh my god, you foreshadow. You dumb ox. And I mean that with all... Oh, that's great. I can't even put a block in there for you to get out on because your big fat rump is blocking. There you go. Don't do that again, you dupayash. Okay, well, I guess I could try... Do I have any more glass left? I could try to go in through the window to build your count. Actually, that won't work. That won't work because you're still standing in the way. Come on, I'm trying to get the door open. Closed. Alright, we're going to come back for you two, because you guys are going to make it difficult. Let's do that. That looks proper. Alright, let's see what we got over here then. I'm looking for a trade. I'm looking for a trade that I can make. I mean, that the player can make. Gravel plus emerald for flint. Are you all alone in there? Hey. You. What do you see out that window? Oh, you're watching them film a scene over there beyond the ridge? Okay, we're going to leave you. You're not very useful. Okay, so that... Oh, that's pretty much it, isn't it? That's pretty much it for the villagers then. Because these guys all died, right? Pretty sure these are dead. Yeah, these are dead villagers. This was the scene of the baby zombie apocalypse. So that's the only villagers I have to work with. Oh, I seem to have... I also seem to have taken out part of the church, huh? Or maybe that's just naturally how it was. Well, I can fix it with this sort of sandstone. Not sure that it'll look correctly, though. That's better. Alright, so the village is fixed up. All I've got is these buffoons over here. Not really... None of these trades are really what I would want the player to have. So, what I can do is I can try to breed the villagers and get... I wonder if I can get some of them into some of the other houses. Actually, this right here can be broken down. And I could put a house right here on this spot as well. Oh, in fact, this could be where... Wait, is this where I'm going to build? Is this going to be my villager spawning house, maybe? Yeah, why not? Looks like there was supposed to be a house here, but then it didn't spawn correctly, maybe? That's what it looks like to me, anyway. And a villager spawning thing needs to be like 5 by 5 This needs to be all flattened out, actually. I don't know why I dug it down like that, actually.